Hi guys, as a lot of you would have heard, I think you would have heard by now that Benaiah is dead. After the last, I'm outside in my back garden, so it's very windy and there's dogs barking and everything. So after the last video I made where there was where they said the father stopped communicating and stuff like that, and after that I decided I wasn't going to make any more videos until I hear the boy is out of the country. That was the decision I made, that I wasn't going to make any more videos until he's out of the country. And unfortunately he never left the country, and my video is not able to discuss if it was a fraud or if it's a fraud and all of that. The main reason I want to make this video is this: my biggest fear is the lack of transparency. It's going to make a lot of people in the future not want to help somebody else. And what I want to say is this, and before I forget, for those people that are going to start, for those people that are the daddies and those people that are going to come here to, you know, talk about their pastors or whatever, and you know, not the pastor lovers and not the pastor defenders that think that this is something to celebrate about. Like, seriously, if you think you should celebrate the date, if you think you should celebrate the death of an innocent child, you need deliverance. You really do need deliverance. Okay, at the end of the day, you know, as far as I know, where that child existed and he's dead, we don't know the full story or whatever. That's a life that's gone. That's an innocent life that a helpless little baby has died. So before you celebrate and be like, oh yeah, you know, somebody left a comment the other time was like, oh yeah, you guys were talking about pastors, you know, this is what we're talking about, our GOs and all of these things. And what we said about your GOs does not change with this. It doesn't. So what did he die of? That's another question. We don't know. We're still waiting for more information. The foundation that I was following up on, that shared the post that I saw, they made a video, and basically the video just said, you know, that he's dead, and there's not much information at the moment. There are many questions. Okay, my thing is this, you know, there are many questions. Why is the boy still in the country? I'm not saying that there's no reason, but you see, when so many people have become involved in an issue like this, there is need for transparency. You know, everybody now think it's a fraud. It's a fraud. Even if it's not a fraud, if you do not come out and be transparent with people, this is what people are going to keep thinking. This is why it's important to be transparent. I believe the father should come out and be transparent. They need time to mourn the death of their child, you know, and this the whole thing. People are like, it's not really, the child is all fake and all of these things. Well, I've seen videos of the child, so at least the child exists. But some people are like, he already knows the child is gonna die, he only just gonna play that the last minute. A lot of rumors are going to start spreading now, and you won't blame people. You know why I find this upsetting, you know, and why it worries me is that the next person that's going to need help, a lot of people may not want to help, especially if this thing is not handled properly. Transparency, I don't know why it's so difficult, you know, to be transparent. You see, when the guy, the KBK Foundation that was helping out with this whole thing, said he blocked him, I was uncomfortable with the idea of blocking someone that is helping with your foundation. My opinion, I may be wrong. I'm just saying, I'm just like everyone out there. We have our ways of reasoning or ways of thinking and the way we view things, you know. That was, a lot of people saw that as a first red flag, and some of you then directed me to a post there on Facebook, and the brother of the father of Benaiah, who is basically Benaiah's uncle, was the one replying to all these comments, and just some things didn't add up to me anymore. And that was why I decided I wasn't going to make any more videos until the boy leaves the country. Something else the uncle was saying in this Facebook post, he was saying that they are doing more tests, they are doing blood tests, they are doing this test, they are doing that test. And I'm thinking to myself, when this whole thing started, they were saying that the boy needs to be taken out of the country. So, and I'm like, I'm a nurse. There is no proper country. Like, there's no country that you take this child to, no proper hospital you take this child to, that will not run all their own tests. Like, you can do all your tests in the world from Nigeria. The minute you drop into any hospital in Europe or in India or wherever, any good hospital will run their tests the minute that boy runs, the minute that boy gets into a hospital. The first thing they're going to do is start running their own tests. So, you know, this boy is critically sick and all of those things. He's critically sick. Like, what tests do you want to run? Why didn't they run them in Nigeria before the whole world donated 70 million? You know, donated 70 million. That's what they said that was donated. You know, I just felt like, let me tell you how I feel. I may be wrong, but I'm just like everyone else out there. We are going to start questioning more and more of the things on our minds. You know, in our minds. The thing is this, you know, I didn't understand why there was any more delay. You know, if truly there was 70 million raised, like, the boy should be gone like that. Like, the boy should be gone like that. I don't know. There are so many unanswered questions. And my appeal to the family is, take your time to mourn your child and everything. But please come out and be transparent. Explain to people more exactly what happened. People need to see that you were truthful. Don't do it for yourself. Do it for Benaiah. You know, at least that will be a good legacy. This boy's life, as short as it was, you know, has shown the kind heart of Nigerians, you know, for people to have donated so much. And at the same time, you know, let this be a legacy to this boy. Let it not be something negative that your little boy will be remembered for. You know, come out and be transparent, not only for Benaiah's legacy, but also for the next person that's going to need help. Do it for the next person, because if this thing is not sorted out, the next person that's going to desperately need help may not be helped by a lot of people because of things like this. All I'm seeing everywhere is like, yeah, we are right, it was a fraud. You know, it's spreading like wildfire. This was something beautiful. Let's not ruin it. You know, that's my appeal to the family. This was something really beautiful. Let's not ruin it. Like, you know, because my thing is this, he was on the streets begging for money, looking very desperate, and then the money came. There didn't seem to be any rush to get out of the country, appearing, you know, in this place or that place. And the first thing I thought to myself is, why is he here? Like, you don't need to be here. You need to be out of the country. And I'm thinking to myself, this boy looks distressed and everything. I'm like, why is he still here? He should be out of the country by now. And these are questions that need to be answered, because when he was begging for money on the street, he looked desperate, like, I need help for my son, I need help for my son. And then this amount of money came, and all of a sudden there seemed to be no rush. A lot didn't add up. That's how I feel, and a lot of people feel the same way. There is need for transparency. We need to know what happened. People have asked, what happens to the money now? Are people gonna get their money back and all of those things? The thing again, you know, money was paid directly into the man's account, and I don't know how people are going to get their money back, you know, or else the man wants to do a refund by himself. GoFundMe is refundable if he wants to refund it. I don't know how it works in Nigeria. Sometimes GoFundMe gets involved, and GoFundMe can actually refund the money themselves. So I don't know if the man is going to refund the money. I don't know what's going to happen with the money. My appeal again I want to make is this: for anybody that is seeing this whole thing and all the confusion and everything, you know, I think at the end of the day, you know, at the end of the day, I felt like no matter what happens, you know, we still prove the point that we can help each other. We can. We don't know if it's a fraud yet or not. I know it's complicated, but it still shows what Nigerians can do when we choose to. And those people that be like, oh yeah, our GOs, oh, you guys are talking about our GOs, it still doesn't change the fact that this whole thing still doesn't change the fact that you know, it proved that that if people can raise this amount of money within few days, it shows you the kind of money that a lot of these GOs are making. That doesn't change that fact. And at the same time, you know, it still doesn't change the fact that, you know, there is so much we can do for each other rather than spending money giving your money to these private jet flying pastors and all these pastors that own several houses and, you know, have several cars and everything. It doesn't change that fact. That fact remains the same. You know, for those people are going to be like, it doesn't change that fact. But unfortunately, you know, there are so many mistakes that were made. I feel like there was no particular person in charge. You know, some people say this is the one in charge of the raising of the money. Another person say that's the person in charge, and the whole thing just went like that. We can learn from this experience. You know, instead of being afraid to help the next person, we can learn from this experience. We can learn from this experience so that next time it can be planned better, and it can be better organized. You know, and you know, it can be better organized. There are lessons to be learned. There are lessons to be learned from this. You know, instead of deciding we'll never help again, we should be thinking of, you know, how to do it differently the next time, and how to ensure transparency the next time. And I don't want to say too much in this video, but I felt like it's important to make this video. Not just for Benaiah and whatever the story is. I'm making this video for the next person. I'm making this video for the next person that's going to need help. I want to be able to, you know, give us that faith in ourselves that it can be done better. We made mistakes were made, a lot of things. When I say mistakes, is when it comes to transparency. You know, people need to know what's going on, but right now it's too confusing. You know, I'm not going to sit here and tell you it was a fraud. I'm not going to say that, because until I'm sure it's a fraud, I'm never going to call it a fraud. I'm just going to say it's confusing. That's the best word I can use, is say it's confusing. And the lack of transparency is discouraging. That's the word. You know, it's very discouraging. And instead of saying we'll never help the next person, let's say next time we will be more careful. But hopefully, if it ever happens again, we can learn from this and do things differently. How do we do it differently? I don't know, but that's life. You learn from one experience or one mistake and plan for the next one. I've already appealed to the parents. I hope they can come out and be transparent. And to the parents, I don't know if they see my videos, but I hope they can come out and be transparent. Like I said, not just do it, not just for the legacy of your child. It's even confusing. Some people are saying, you know, the parents are not the real parents, and you know, there's just so much going on. But anyways, I feel they should do it for the next person that's going to need help. And I seriously don't know what else to say, seriously. And with that, I'm just going to say thank you all for watching. Until the next time, guys. Bye bye. Bye.